Yo, what's going on, guys? Hopefully everybody's having a good day, or I guess in our case I should say hopefully everybody had a good day already, because let's be real, most of my videos are gonna go live at like 1 or 2 a.m. I don't know why, it's just what I do. My sleeping schedule is awesome, but either way I appreciate you supporting the videos. So we're playing on Eden today, and I wanted to talk today a little bit about maps. So on my streams lately we've been talking about maps we love, maps we dislike, maps we hate. Hello there. It always feels good to go to the other side of the map and catch a camper at the very beginning. He was praying to find somebody with his G2, and then I get caught either way. But anyway, so we were playing on Crash Site the other day on my stream, and I can't help myself. Sometimes I try and keep a positive attitude, but sometimes something just annoys you so much where you just have to voice yourself, you know? And sometimes I can't help it. I'm just like, I hate Crash Site. God damn it, why is this map in the game? And somebody in chat said, Iniquity, you probably hate the map because you suck at it. You don't enjoy something because you're not good at it. And my first instinct was to defend myself and be like, well, I don't think I'm terrible. I don't think I'm bad. I think I'm actually decent at Crash Site. It's just the map itself that annoys the hell out of me. Like, I can have a 40-kill game on Crash Site and I'll still find something to complain about regardless of my performance. But just in case, made me a little self-conscious, I actually checked my stats. If you didn't know, Titanfall 2 stats will actually tell you map specifically how well you do in every single map. It gives you your win percentage. So I went to go check, and it says that I have, I think, an 83% win percentage on Crash Site. So whoever that hater was or troll, I actually do pretty good on Crash Site. That doesn't mean that I dislike it just because I do bad. So I thought this would start a really cool experiment. If you guys have the time, go on Titanfall 2 today on your main platform, go to your stats page, and tell me what your worst map is. Just figure out which map has the least or the smallest win percentage, and I think it would be a pretty cool survey to take. I want to know what everybody's worst map is. That is Zyph. Send me a message. Zyph, if you're watching this, I love you. Thank you for all the support on the channel recently. You are the absolute best. Actually, you know what? Instead of checking your stats right now, when this video is over, drop a like, of course, and then I want you to go into the comments and guess first. What do you think your best map is, and what do you think your worst map is? And then actually go into your stats and see if you were right or wrong. I think that would be a really cool survey to take. I've been thinking a lot about maps lately and what works for me, at least in the Titanfall franchise, and it was weird. If you guys used to watch my old videos, I used to love Complex. I used to love Dry Dock, and I don't think they're bad maps now, but my viewpoint has completely changed. Like, they're no longer my favorite maps. Maps like Eden are my favorite, or Glitch, where there's just so many different walls and outside that you can run around and not too many rooftops that you can camp on. Now, Eden is an exception because there are a lot of rooftops, but something like Glitch I think is the absolute best because there's nowhere to hide. There's no rooftops to head glitch on, and I guess that's not for everybody, so Respawn does have to think about every single type of player. They have to make sure they have a map that caters to every single playstyle. So it might not be for me, and I hate some maps, but some people might, you know, they might actually see Crash Site and be like, oh my god, I can't wait. This game's gonna be amazing. Crash Site, let's go. So let me know what your favorite map is and why. I think we need to have a good conversation about this, so maybe we can give some insight to Respawn for Titanfall 3. Who knows? Maybe some future DLC. Maybe they'll take what we have to say into consideration and make a map almost exactly how we described. That'd be pretty cool. You just see an Easter egg somewhere hidden in the map that says Watch Don't Die in graffiti, Respawn. Just throwing that idea out there. So for me personally, my stats right now, my best two maps are Eden and Exoplanet, which I'm not too surprised about. It's one of the reasons I love these maps. I feel like the map flows very well, and like I have an idea of where everybody is at all times, and I love these maps, man. And it makes sense that my worst map right now is Rise. You guys watch my streams, you know I complain about it all the time, and I'm sorry about the negativity, but Rise I'm just super bad on. I don't enjoy running around on it anymore. When it first came out in the DLC, or a few months ago, I don't remember exactly when, I was enjoying it, and I think it really was just because it was something fresh to Titanfall 2. But now that I get Rise like 30-40% of the time in attrition, I despise it. Like, no joke, I'm not gonna lie to you, I do not enjoy playing Rise, and recently, as soon as I get it, I just quit out, wait a few minutes, and wait for the rotation to move along so I can get a different map. I have like a 48-49 win percentage on Rise, and it's not fun for me. So going back to that dude that I mentioned earlier saying that I dislike something because I'm not good at it, you know what, in this situation that absolutely applies. I feel like a terrible player on Rise. I just don't have fun. I never know where people are, and I feel like every time I guess they're on that middle bridge somewhere, I run there and I just get shot and lose every gunfight. It's just not for me. And even if I actually have a decent game on Rise, and I think I might have a few on YouTube, and I have a really good score, I still come away from the game thinking like I didn't have that much fun. even if I had a great score. I just can't do it, you know? Whereas where I get a game or a map like this, like Eden, I get excited from the very beginning, and even if we lose it, I'm sure I had fun the entire time because I just think Eden is a fantastic map. So guys, let me know what you think about these maps. What's your favorite? What's your least favorite? What do you play the worst on? What do you play the best on? I think right now, the thing that I dislike the most are these Swiss cheese maps, and that's what people used to love about Titanfall 1, and I think just because I played so much Titanfall 2 now, these old maps are just not my thing anymore. Even though a map like Relic is very Swiss cheese, and if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, by Swiss cheese I mean there's a lot of angles that people can attack from. It's not very predictable. There's a lot of different routes. It's not just 3 given lanes, you know what I mean? Whereas I think I enjoy the 3-lane maps now. Even though Relic I actually think is a very fun map, Rise pisses me off so much because of those tunnels hanging out in the middle of the map. There's like 6 doorways on every single tunnel. You never know exactly where somebody's gonna pop out of and shoot you, and it pisses me off. I get tilted every time I get shot in the back or from the side on Rise, and I hate the Swiss cheese design of it. And then we have a map like Exoplanet, and I love it so much, but when people ask me why, I can never really figure out why I enjoy the map so much. It's just 2 really big buildings side by side with some things surrounding it. It's got those 2 silos in the far left or whatever, depending on how you look at it. I don't know why I enjoy Exoplanet so much or why I play well on it, but I just think the design of it is perfect. The one thing I do hate about Exoplanet, though, is that really tall tower where people like to camp with their G2s. I want to quit out of the game and shut off my Xbox or PS4 as soon as somebody's up there shooting me with the G2. I just feel like it's a broken spot and it shouldn't be there, or maybe just delete the G2 in general. So what I'm trying to say is maps are important. I think they deserve recognition, they deserve some discussion. I'm sure Respawn always listens to the community feedback, and if there's like a clear-cut fan favorite type of map that we want, I'm sure they'll cater more to that. When you think about a game that you used to play back in the day, something you always think about are the maps, whether you love them or hated them. When I think about old school Counter-Strike, I think about Dust 1 and Dust 2. When I think about Halo, old school Halo, I think about Lockout and Blood Gulch. You know what I'm talking about? Like, just think of one of your favorite games back in the day, and then think of those good feelings that certain map used to give you, or maybe one that you hated. You guys remember Downturn on Modern Warfare 3? It wasn't a good experience, but it's something that you remember. So I don't know, I enjoy talking about this stuff. It's like Firing Range from Black Ops. They brought that map back like 17 times in every single Call of Duty game because people loved it so much. Or Nuketown. I wasn't even a fan of Nuketown, to be honest, but we can't deny that it's a fan favorite. So who knows, maybe one day in Titanfall 4 they'll bring back Glitch and they'll bring back War Games, and we just get to reminisce about this commentary where Iniquity brought it up. This is more like a Tony Mo sort of commentary, more theoretical, more psychological. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm nothing like Tony Mo. Tony, I love you. This is why Tony and I would never have like a good dual commentary or podcast, because Tony would just be there talking about, I don't know, some philosophical shit, and I'd just be there like, yep, I like killing tones, man. Feels good. So I don't know if you guys pay too much attention to my gameplay where I don't really talk about the gameplay, but if you have noticed that my trigger management or trigger discipline is getting better, please let me know. If you guys watched last video or the last commentary I made, you know what I'm talking about. I'm trying my best to not spray my gun too often, and I did mention that the Alternator is probably the best way to practice that because it has a small magazine. So I thought, you know what, for the next few days, let me try using the Alternator for my YouTube videos and see where it goes. I think my aim is getting a bit better just because I'm trying to manage my shots more. I'm trying not to spray too much. I'm making sure that when I press the trigger button, I think I'm gonna hit something. And I know that sounds stupid. Like, Iniquity, shouldn't you always shoot when you think you're gonna hit something? That's just not the way I play. Most of the time when I see an enemy, I immediately just press my trigger button, and then I try and fix my aim, and I'm trying to fix that habit because I don't like it. It's weird. When I used to play this game back in maybe December, January, I think all I used was the Alternator. And I feel like I was pretty damn good with it, and then all of a sudden, like, months passed, and I could no longer do well with the gun, and I could never figure out why. And I think I came up with a pretty good excuse. This could be a straight up lie, but I used to play on a 70 FOV, and then finally Respawn allowed us to increase that, so now I bumped that up to 94 at the moment. I used to play on 1 something. I feel like having a higher FOV makes targets a little bit harder to hit. I don't know if that's just an excuse. I feel like targets are smaller, so maybe that's why my aim was better back in the day with the 70 FOV. And I forgot all about tap firing, man. I've been spraying the hell out of my Alternator and just hoping for the best, and I'm just like, why am I not hitting anything ever? And I forgot that all you have to do is just tap fire this gun like crazy. Like, even if they're close range, I've just been trying to get in the habit of always tap firing the alternator, because when I'm going full auto with the gun, I feel like I don't care too much about my aim. I'm just like, okay, you know what? Eventually I'm gonna fix my aim, and they're gonna take 3 or 4 bullets, and I'm gonna get the kill. Whereas when I have to tap something, like when I'm using a burst rifle or tap firing the alternator, I really care about every single shot. It's a weird mental thing. I always make sure that my aim is on point, or at least to my best ability. Let's not go too far here. So thank you for listening to my nonsense. I appreciate you guys. You're the best community in the world. Let me know about all those maps. What's your worst map? What's your best map? What are your favorites or least favorites? I love you guys. Make sure you drop a like for me, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.